don't want it. I changed my mind.
I changed mine first.
Says who?
I think you were standing there. I said I will graciously stand down. You were the Yulu.
Grown men indeed.
See what you've done?
So, Neighbours, eh?
Neighbours, rest in peace, Neighbours. Yes, after 37 long, happy, sunny years, Neighbours is going to a fucking end.
It's
because of, I don't know what bullshit reason.
I think it cost too much for Harold to keep having new tubers because Lou kept ruining them.
The tuber budget was getting a bit out of hand and it was just, there wasn't enough money in all of Australia.
If you haven't guessed already, in this episode of what we're calling RegRett, it's like a reminiscence.
We regret that Neighbours is coming to an end.
Oh yeah, this is a time to plug our new logo and brand identity.
Yeah, imagine a bowl with fire in it and our letters.
I can put that in post. You imagine it. You imagine it at home. Because imagination is half the battle. That doesn't even make sense. We haven't seen the show in about 15 years.
Yeah, at least 15 years. Early mid-2000s.
Even so, the memories are still... First, we decided to share with you some facts I pulled off the internet about Neighbours in its 30s. It's nearly 37. It'll be 37.
That's 1.6% more impressive.
It is.
According to maths. So then, a wonderful chap by the name of Ian Smith. He was originally on a show called Prisoner Cell Block H back in the late 70s. He was offered the role of who had become our favourite character, Harold Bishop. Rest in peace. He's not been dead.
He's not even dead.
It doesn't matter to me.
He's had a heart attack before and a stroke though, and he got lost at sea.
Yeah,
good times.
He's better than death. Anyway,
those were the truest times. Oh, sorry,
that's jumping way ahead. So, Ian Smith took the role and stayed there for over 15 long happy years. His last appearance was in 2015. Due to return
sorry, that was
for the finale later this year, which I'm really looking forward to seeing. Harold is of course the best character, not just in this soap, but all soaps that ever were made and ever will be made on this planet and any planet. Shut up.
How many episodes has it aired since the 37 years ago, I hear people asking? Well, almost, but not quite, 9,000. It is actually 8,791 episodes. So, if you decided, for some fucking weird reason, that you wanted to catch up on every single episode before the finale, I'd get watching it now, because it would take you nearly 4.5 months with no sleep and no breaks. But you might go insane.
Yeah, that's not really possible. But if you set aside one entire year, you could cram 4.5 months of Neighbours watching into 12 months. Yeah, you still go a bit insane. You go permanently Aussie at the end of it.
But if that was all the media you digested, you didn't see any friends, the only person you saw was the Deliveroo driver.
Now, the people you see in the street, you'd see as Neighbours characters.
Yes.
Your mum will become Susan Kennedy. Your kid will become Harold Bishop.
If my child turns out to be Harold Bishop, I'll be the happiest dad in the world. The theme tune is fucking great, I think, as well.
Yeah, so since 1985 then, it seems there have been 8 versions of the theme tune.
8?
That's a change every, 4 years? Well, it's been voted the world's most recognisable television theme song. That's pretty impressive. A new retro-inspired theme tune sung by Garth Plug debuted on the 5th of January 2015, and that was part of the show's 30th anniversary celebrations.
Celebrations,
yes. Celebrations.
But what? The only reason I included that because of Plug. Well, there are 8, but now there will be 9 renditions. Let's roll the clip of us doing that.
Everybody goes for Neighbours! All Neighbours! That's when good neighbours become good neighbours! Farewell, you Aussie bastards!
Did you know, Ross? It wasn't just TV that Neighbours was on. They had books as well as a book series.
It was a whole multimedia empire.
Including the 1991 video game for the ZX Spectrum, Commodore 64 and Atari ST. I could not find much footage of this at all, but it seems to be you play as one of the adolescent characters from the early 90s. You just skateboarding around, collecting stuff in a very crude looking street. And that's it. Not exactly embodies the spirit of the show.
Remaster.
However,
at the end of the series, you've got to remaster it. I want to play it. It's going to be terrible.
Someone who knows how to use the Unity engine, please. Just do a remaster. It doesn't even need to be good. Reinvigorate it back into the zeitgeist. We need this to live on past Neighbours' death. The theme tune, actually, it sounds really good in like 8-bit or whatever it is. There are now 10 renditions of the Neighbours theme tune.
Oh, 11! You know, Shooting the Stars.
Yeah.
We got to find the episode where Vic Reeves does Neighbours in the club style that he did.
So that's enough about facts, of which there are many, but we chose the 4 high quality and best,
The most
shiniest
prominent
ones.
facts you can find about Neighbours.
We're going to talk about our favourite bits from Neighbours up until about 2005 when we stopped watching it.
It aired on, was it BBC One? I think it was at 5:30 every night. It was Neighbours and then The Simpsons and then Road Wars, Buffy. That's just my 90s love coming through here.
Yeah,
Anyway, I first started watching Neighbours. Well, my mum watched it. I kind of watched it second hand. In the mid-90s, where everybody had frizzy hair and TV quality was...
Also frizzy.
Toady. He had that kind of long frizzy ponytail, didn't he, back in the 90s?
Oh yeah, he's still in it, Toady.
Yeah, I think yes, you're right. I think he's got short hair now, though.
Yeah, he looks the same. He's got the goatee that he had since he could grow facial hair, which was...
Yeah, but he was in school. What do they call school back then? Like secondary school? What do they call secondary school in Australia?
Is it high school?
Upside down hot secondary school.
Struth, mate, that lizard's going to kill you and chuck it on the Barbie school. I am so sorry, everybody in Australia. We do not represent the ignorant masses of the UK.
Most Australians are pretty racist themselves. They won't mind. Fucking hell.
Isn't it a big prison? A big hot prison?
Yeah, basically. I mean, that's so they're allowed to watch this, you know, in between those dodgy showers and whatnot.
So this is their yard time. It's just Neighbours. It's got to be as wholesome as possible. Yeah, mine was in the early 90s as well, because you're right, it came on at 5:30. But then Home and Away came on directly after it on ITV or Channel 4.
I think it moved to Channel 5, didn't it?
But yeah, Home and Away and Neighbours were the 2 back-to-back Aussie soaps. I always preferred Neighbours because Home and Away was seaside-y, more, oh, look at us, we're surfer dudes and there's hurricanes.
I've got no knowledge of Home and Away.
No.
I don't care for it.
One of my first celebrity crushes was on Neighbours as well. It was a character called Sky.
Susan Kennedy.
What?
No, I was
now
joking.
I'm older, Susan Kennedy. But Sky, she was the one that had coloured...
Blonde being one of the colours you're
Yeah, she
referring
went
to.
blonde eventually, but she's Harold's granddaughter, which is probably why.
Yeah, I think I can picture her.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, mate, I'm a teenager and she is attractive and looks slightly alternative, so therefore, me. Yeah,
Wow.
that was good.
That was great timing.
Cheers.
Synchronised belching.
Obviously, Harold and Lou's rivalry is something that has permeated
Weren't
the
they
entire series.
friends for the massive majority of their screen time? They had a bit of a falling out.
They've always been like frenemies, though. They've always like butted up against each other, but they love each other and they're friends, but still.
Yeah, they ran that. What's the cafe called? It's probably had a lot of different names over the past 37 years, but they both ran it together, didn't they, for a bit? Go Happy Eat Place, yeah.
We have no lizards that kill you because we killed them first. I don't remember specifics about Neighbours because there have been so many episodes.
I've got a few storylines I can remember, actually.
Oh,
so
fucking hell.
I'll rattle them off. Carl and Susan Kennedy are like the mainstay couple of the show, but that fucking Dr. Carl Kennedy, he cheated on them not once, but twice. He raised his dirty doctor dick twice. First, I think, to his next door neighbour, like late 90s, I think.
Right.
And then they got back together. Then the shadow of his dirty Dr. Dick loomed over Erinsborough once again, and he cheated on poor Susan for a second time. They got back together yet again, and are still together, I'm quite sure.
You just remind me of, is it Paul?
That was my next thing to get to. Did he fall off a roof and lost his leg?
I thought he lost his memory. Or his
that's
leg.
Harold. No, Paul Robinson lost his leg.
Apparently I lost my memory, so...
Apparently so. So he kind of just hobbles around looking like a sort of sour-faced pirate. Doing his evil schemes to people and putting folk out of business and whatever he does.
But didn't he own like a club or a leisure centre or something?
He's like the neighbour's mogul, the kind of business mogul who lost a leg and now hobbles about looking mean.
He's the archetypal, slightly crippled, rich dude who hates everyone and just wants everyone to suffer.
A healthier Donald Trump, I guess.
With fewer racism?
Oh yeah, going back to our man Harold, he's actually had a lot of tragedy because he got lost at sea for a few years, came back, his wife Madge, she died of the cancer, was it?
And he kept seeing a ghost, was that right?
Perhaps. Oh, and even worse than that, his son and his son's wife and all their kids died in a plane crash as well.
Jesus!
He's been through a lot of shit. And the guy lost his memory and started to be a to people.
Also, he had a heart attack after he tried to do a rap song.
I'm Afro Harold and I'm in the house where the coffee's great and the food is grouse. With sandwiches and lasagna too.
And ice cream sundaes for me and you.
Donna,
Well, are you okay?
Donna, please help me.
What a life he's had.
And he's still alive. and he plays the tuba. And when they switched over to Channel 5, he led an orchestra of tubas and brass instruments. It looks like London, but I don't know why it would be London.
It's not a country.
London, not a country.
They think they're their own country, but they're not.
They think so, but they fucking aren't. Nottingham's a country.
Yeah, we're a country because we say we are.
Because they're a tree full of because we've got the major oak and then all of the idiots like us.
Trees can be countries because I said so.
I thought I was going to come in here with more knowledge of Neighbours, but Ross...
No, we talk about it. Stuff's coming back to me. Like, a more recent one. You know, Tony got married to that woman, D something or other. They get married, they have to drive away from Erinsborough, but they drive off a cliff. They just reuse a fucking storyline here. I think she gets lost at sea and returns years later, but pretends to be somebody else, or she's got a evil twin or some shit. We can check this. It sounds so outlandish, but it's a soap.
So there we go. That was everything that we remember about the beloved cul-de-sac known as our lives. I mean, Ramsey Street. Farewell, Ramsey Street. Harold's tuba will forever echo in our memories.
Etc.
Okay, goodbye. See you next time. Subscribe and all that shit.
Yeah, smash the arse button and all that.
The arse button.
Mm-hmm.